welcome to this week's Walk and Talk, last of the series, first series of the Walk and Talk, and we've got Danny Hanlon. Danny, cheers for taking the time to join us. But we're here to talk about your career. We're here to talk about all the stories that you want to tell us, that you're allowed to tell us, I suppose. But it all started for you at Hibs. You know, Hibs was where you had the second most appearances other than Edinburgh. But what was it like coming up through the youth system? Was it strollers you came up through and then into Hibs? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I was at Hibs since I was 10 years old, so it was all really new. I played with a lot of players, even that I'm playing with now, that I've played with then. I was always a year above myself, so I was always playing the year above. And funny enough, it was James McDonald that was probably my first real coach at that full-time level, where it kind of progressed on a bit from there.
Right, okay.
So then, when he took charge, obviously he took a shine to me, and it went well from there. To be honest with you, I probably got ahead of myself because everything was happening so fast. I was playing with Scotland under 21s, under 19s, whatever.
What was that like? I mean, obviously, sorry to interrupt, but touch on that, what it's like to represent your country, because it's not an opportunity that comes up often, is it? You know, under 17 or 21 level.
To be fair, I don't like saying the word, but I used to get a bit homesick when I used to go, because obviously at that time it was predominantly Celtic and Rangers players were in the team.
Right.
So any other club outside they two teams were only one or two players, but they had like 7 or 8 boys in the team, so it was like a club for them, really. It's
hard to break into, isn't it, when you have like that many Celtic and Rangers youngsters? You're like, you always see the little kind of trickle of hearts in him.
You're not treated as an outsider, but it feels like you're an outsider, because even in the first couple of times I was going, the players were already friendly with the coaches. They already knew from your young age group, whereas I came in Scotland set up at under 17s, under 19s, and from there I wasn't like a regular, I was only in and out every so often. So yeah, it was difficult. I didn't really enjoy going away. I think towards the later stage at under 21s I enjoyed it more, because it wasn't predominantly the two teams. There was players from England and stuff that come up to play, so it made it a bit easier. But I wasn't really fortunate enough to get that many call-ups. I think I had maybe 2 or 3 Scotland under 21 appearances. I think I had more under 19s, but like I said, it was obviously an honour to be a part of your country. I captained them as well, which was a big thing. I've still got the photos and that from that. So yeah, it was a big achievement, and like I said, I probably got ahead of myself at that time, because I was playing for Scotland and maybe took it for granted because I didn't want to go sometimes, and I think we got relegated off Hamilton, and me and Sammy Stanton didn't use the excuse, but because we got relegated, we didn't have to go. Whereas if players are turning down going to their country, there's obviously something wrong, but that's probably just the way it was back then. I think it's probably different now. Like you said, there's players come from England, like Manchester United, that are all playing, so completely different setup to what it was when I was there. But like I said, I enjoyed every minute of it. So.
And the big move to Hibs, I think it was 2011 you joined. What was that like? You know, signing that contract, you know, proper and getting your first start for the club.
Well, at that level, you don't really know too much about contracts and stuff like that. You're just enjoying playing football. But then once you get to that level where it starts to take over your life, and then you kind of get asked the question: is this what you want to do? If so, you need to stick with Hibs. You can't play boys' club. You can't play school football. I never played for my schools ever.
Right.
Because of Hibs, so I got to the age of about 13 to choose. I was at Civil Service Rose at the time, and lucky enough, it was about 4 or 5 of us that played for Hibs in my team at that time. So we all chose Hibs, obviously you can't turn down that opportunity. So lucky enough, I progressed, got to full-time football. I left school at 15 to go full-time. Done a coaching course at Telford's along with other boys. It was like part of your kind of education, but I got my first full-time contract at 17, and then made my debut at 17 as well. So like I said, at then I thought you don't have the knowledge of what you're going to have now, but at then I probably thought I've got the world at my feet here, everything's happening so fast, but literally time fast.
Was that time when, you know, in football kind of everything was big, wasn't it? Players were getting those contracts at 15, 16, and let's face it all comes at you so fast, you think, you know, this is it, you know, this is going to be my life for, and it is still, you know, for however many years.
You literally take it for granted, because you think once you get one of the contracts, time's never going to run out, but it does. I signed two full-time contracts with the first team, and one was a 4-year and one was a 3-year, so they were 7-year contracts. I thought in total that I thought I was going to be here for a while, but it doesn't pan out like that. And then a year left to go, my contract, I agreed with the club to leave mutually, and then signed for Dumbarton. So look, I've got nothing to say about Hibs. I enjoyed my time there. I would have loved to have stayed full-time, made a go of it. Stayed at Hibs as long as I could, but things work out differently.
Well, let's work on to the Edinburgh signing. So you signed in 2018. Your first goal was against the New Saints in the Challenge Cup. You know, how's it been at Edinburgh? How have things been
No,
since joining the
that
club?
was Dumbarton, my first goal.
Was it Dunbar?
For New Saints, it was Dumbarton. Dumbarton was my first goal.
I was looking up your goals earlier on. I must have got it mixed up. But your first goal, you know, the Challenge Cup was a bit of a gutter blow against the New Saints. But how's it been at Edinburgh? You know, for you as a whole.
Loved it. Loved every minute of the club. I've been here. Just everything about it. I think because it's probably my second closest team, apart from Hibs. It's just every minute I've enjoyed the staff. Obviously we've not got a lot of supporters, but they do turn out the numbers when they can. I've played a lot of players here. I've seen a lot of boys come and go, and we've had a lot of good dressing rooms. So it's been really good to be a part of. I think also the pinnacle was the promotion last year. I don't think the season we had, we probably thought it was going to happen, but we managed to get it over the line. And
it was an unforgettable bus trip back
then. Funnily enough, I watched the. We've still got the clip on our Huddle channel that we can watch games on, and I sometimes just go on and watch just the last 5 minutes of the game, because when the final whistle goes, you just see the whole. Because I'm on the bench at that time, so I come off, but you just see the whole bench and all the players in the pitch just run straight to the bottom end to see the fans. So
we were the same. We had the microphones here. We were doing commentary. We switched the microphones off. And we ran onto it. I mean, it was a phenomenal.
It's just one of the things. It's probably the highlight of my career, because the feeling was surreal. And
to go from like fourth up, to, we weren't expecting any of that realistically.
Even the way the game went, because to be fair to Alan, they battered their second leg. And if it wasn't for the performance of Brian, I don't think we'd be in this league. So credit to him. But we are where we are for a reason. I think we've just progressed on. I know we've not made the playoffs this year, which is unfortunate, but to be fifth as it stands in our first season in League One, with one game to go, it's a big achievement, I'd say, for a club like Edinburgh City, because like I said, we're a small supported club, but we've got a good squad, we've got good management, a good board there, so everything's part of it to be a real good club, but it's just progressing to the next level.
Well, we'll call that part one.
Part one.
Probably get another one. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next season.
No worries.
Thanks mate.
See you later.